Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 325 of the Truck Testers Podcast. As always, I'm Tyler. And joining me with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables.
Hey, everybody. Let's continue on to the grind.
Yes. So it's been, whoever knows how long for you guys. It's been a couple months for us. But we are still talking about our E3 for Sunday and part of Monday. This is going to be our last recording of the day. We'll come back tomorrow for Tuesday and Wednesday with Ubisoft, Square Enix and Nintendo.
Yep.
But this is our last one for the night. It's going to be covering Ubisoft. So like we've been doing with the other two, if you haven't heard already, Gables gave Microsoft a 7 out of 10, and I gave it a 7.5. Gables gave Bethesda a 5 out of 10. I gave it a 6. So now we are going to talk about Bethesda. Like I said, our last one of the night. Started off big, the first 25 minutes or so. This whole press conference was the shortest one so far. We haven't watched. I watched majority of Square Enix's, but I haven't finished it. But so far, as of this recording, Ubisoft was the shortest. It's about an hour and 10 minutes. Start off with Watch Dogs Legions, which we talked about last week on our podcast with the leaks. It has permanent death for your characters. You have to recruit characters. Each one has their own skill sets. Some are shooters, some are hackers. Some have different, like I said, all of them have different skill sets than others. And it's coming out March 6th of next year. They had spent a long time showing off. This is probably the thing they spent the most time on. It's going to have, you can have there's an old lady who is a retired assassin. You have a lady that's really good at shooting. You have a guy that can hack drones or whatever. So like I said, everybody has skill sets. Show off all the different things you do. Like you basically you recruit people into DedSec, and you can jump around between those characters. And if they die while doing combat or anything else, they're dead. They're gone forever. And then you have to recruit a new person to replace them, or you have to do you move on to a different character. Then it moved on to Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet, which is a TV show from the guys that made Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It could be funny. It looked like it was kind of a lower budget game, but I guess it's lower budget movie. It's basically a TV show about these guys making a game they're making an expansion to a game called Mythic Quest, and it's basically about a guy who's the director of the game, and then making it looks like Office, or like a Silicon Valley, but if it was a video game, based on a video game company instead. But I guess it's only coming to Apple. Apple has its own subscription service, and it's coming to that. So I didn't know that was even a thing until this happened. So if you have the Apple TV service thing, it's gonna be on there. No idea when it's coming, but it's coming. They showed off a little trailer for that. They showed off a bunch of some new content for Rainbow Six Siege. Brawlhalla, which is that free-to-play Smash Brothers knockoff game, is adding the Adventure Time characters to it. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which was announced a couple months ago, is getting Terminator in the game. So apparently Terminator is going to be in every fucking press conference. Fun fact: he's the second DLC character for Smash Brothers. This is Terminator. I'm kidding, but who knows? Maybe I'm not kidding. I don't know. But the highlight of that whole section was Bam Bam the dog. John, who plays Shane from Walking Dead and the Punisher. He is the kind of the star of the game. He came out with his dog named Bam Bam. I'm assuming he couldn't get a babysitter, so he just brought the dog with him, which I'm cool with. Highlight of the press conference for me. Elite Squad was announced. It's a top-down shooter for mobile games. Basically, it's like their Smash Brothers. Hey, here's all these famous characters. Here's this person from Rainbow Six Siege. Here's this person from Division. Here is Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell. In this top-down mobile shooting game. So that's supposed to be coming soon, or you can at least pre-order it or pre-register now. So that's happening. For Honor is getting an expansion where you fight Ghost. That's coming June 27th. Rainbow Six Quarantine was announced. That's coming in early 2020. It's a 3-player co-op game. Where it looks like you're gonna be fighting zombies. I assume they didn't really show the enemies, but it looks like zombies. A lot of people were thinking it was Zombie 2 or Zombie U2. Division 2. They talked about the next, until the first year. The rest of what's gonna be the first year of the game. There's 3 episodes coming out. There's one coming out, I believe, at the end of the summer, or it's coming out in July, and then one coming out in the fall, and then the last one's coming out in the beginning of 2020. And then Division movie is happening. Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be the star of the movie. That's going to be coming to Netflix. No idea when, but that's happening. Uplay Plus, which was kind of been talked about for a long time now, is basically their EA Access. EA Access, where it's $15 a month, but it's only on PC for right now. It launched in September. Basically, like it's going to have hundreds of games in the library you can play with it. It's kind of like a Game Pass style thing, and all their new games as they come out will be on the service as well. So if you pay for this thing every month, you'll get all like the new Ghost Recon game, which I forgot to mention comes October 4th, or the new whatever the next big game for them comes out, Rainbow Six Quarantine. That's all going to be on there at launch. It's only on PC in September, but in 2020 it's becoming Google Stadia. And then we had Roller Champions, which is like a roller derby style game. There's no gameplay shown, but there was gameplay shown after the fact. You can like, so it's out there if you want to watch it, but they just showed like a CG trailer. No idea when that's coming out, but if you sign up, you go online now, you can play it. You can sign up to play the alpha. You can play the alpha right now, for like this week. And then it ended off with Gods and Monsters, which is coming out February 25th. It was a CG trailer. It was only like a minute or so long. Basically, the way it looks is like it's like God of War mashed with Breath of the Wild. I think there's some gameplay out there now, but this was only a CG trailer. So there wasn't a lot shown. They focused like they almost showed off like about a dozen games. But I don't know, Gibbs, what was your thoughts on the Ubisoft press conference?
Well, you know what? I felt that the Ubisoft press conference was definitely kind of average in terms of what they did cover. They stuck to their guns that they felt would be strongest in terms of the broad appeal. I like the way that they began with the Watch Dogs. Okay, with Watch Dogs and stuff. The showcase of the gameplay with that. It was pretty fun just to go forth and just see not only the introduction of the permadeath sort of feature inside that initial gameplay trailer that we did see, but also you could just go forth and try to recruit almost anyone in terms of expertise or something like that. Like, say you could be an old lady or something, or have like a gaggle of old ladies or something, just like go through and just do a bunch of random crap. Or you could just have like a bunch of hoodlums, like, or a bunch of rockers, a bunch of people who love rap or whatsoever, just basically try to take over, like, take the town back and stuff from like a lot of the influence and stuff over the city of London and stuff. That I kind of like that kind of feel, like how everything seems to be felt like it was a little bit more seamless in that aspect and stuff, that perspective. But I like the Watchdog. I like Watch Dogs. That was pretty good. Or Watch Dogs 3 is, that's definitely what I'm be calling it. Mm-hmm. But other than that, though, I definitely am a fan of the Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon stuff because of Wildlands last, like in 2017, 2016 that I played through, quintessentially. That game was very fun. That game was really fun, and I'm kind of excited to see a little bit more of Breakpoint. I definitely am excited for what I did see. But yeah, you know what? Come October and stuff, that's the perfect type of game for me to play during that month because it's going to be warming me up for the initial onslaught that's going to be November. But other than that, though, I really wasn't interested in what they had with the Division 2. Was not interested in anything with like the Rainbow Six like stuff. The whole thing about the Rainbow Six, like what was it? What was that type of like trailer they showed that kind of looks like almost like a zombie type of thing again?
Rainbow Six Quarantine.
Oh, Quarantine? Yeah. Quarantine, I thought the trailer was pretty good and stuff, but squad-based sort of stuff like that I generally don't do too well in, and it kind of looks too similar from the impression that the trailer gave. It just kind of made me felt more or less sort of like Call of Duty Zombies in some retrospect. But other than that, though, I kind of felt that overall, though, for the Ubisoft conference, I thought that it was average at best, but it wasn't like, there wasn't anything that I felt was really, really, really cringeworthy and stuff. I mean, yeah, we got the introduction for Just Dance, which, by the way, and this is kind of like an unrelated note, this is definitely like something that I was not expecting, but they are still releasing Just Dance for the Wii.
Yeah, it's actually... that's been like we always forget about it, but every year on E3 they show the graphic for it's coming to Wii, and I'm like, oh yeah, shit, that's on Wii. What's funny though is they officially quit making it. The new Just Dance will be the first one since the release of Wii U not to come on the Wii U, but they're still making it for the Wii. So I just tell you something how bad the Wii U was.
My God, that's just hilarious in my honest opinion and stuff. They actually went forth and just say, "Fuck the Wii U, let's just go forth and just keep releasing on the regular
Yeah, yeah,
Wii." It was funny after that whole dance performance and stuff. All of a sudden, you see the little blurb of when it's going to release, and it's like, okay, it's coming on Nintendo Switch, it's coming on the PS4, it's coming on to Steam, it's coming
yeah.
on to like, well,
Google
it's coming
Stadia,
on to Xbox One, it's on Google Stadia, and oh yeah, we got it out
Sega
for the Nintendo
Dreamcast.
Wii.
Huh.
I'm like, what the I'm sorry. Every year we say this that Just Dance coming out on like the Wii and stuff, it's just really out of the norm. That system will not die.
Yeah,
Its online stuff has ceased functioning. Like there any other developers is not making any games for this except for Ubisoft.
yeah.
That's
It's
how much
gotta
of a
be.
commitment they had for that console.
It's got to be selling well too. I mean, I mean,
It has to be.
yeah,
It has to be if they keep on selling it for the Wii.
yeah,
Oh my gosh. That was just like the biggest like kind of like WTF moment of that conference though. But let's see. Overall, I was impressed with Watch Dogs 3. I was definitely more excited for like Tom Clancy's like Ghost Recon Breakpoint. The whole like Gods and Monsters, that little 1 minute trailer that we saw, that was pretty cute and stuff. It's from the creator of Assassin's Creed Odyssey and stuff. So I'm kind of interested in seeing what they have like later on or something this year. I really want to see some gameplay of it before I initially decide or anything. But I kind of felt like this conference was more like a 6 out of 10 to
okay,
me.
all right. So better than Bethesda, worse than
Yes.
Microsoft still. So yeah,
Yes.
I'm kind of in the same boat with you a little bit. Like I talked about in the last podcast, too, when the Watch Dogs Legion trailers came or the leaks came out. I was really disappointed to kind of hear what they're doing with that. Like the permadeath stuff has never been my style. Other games have done it, like Fire Emblem. What's the top-down strategy shooter game? I'm thinking
Oh,
of
it's XCOM, Tyler.
XCOM. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man, I've never liked permadeath inside of games.
Yeah, like it's just I just hate like I get why people like it. It's just I don't like doing that. Like XCOM, I always turn that part off, or I would use save state a lot to make sure.
I know, I do that with Fire Emblem too.
Yeah,
I just turn that shit off
yeah,
because I'm gonna reset the game anyway, but I do not want to go through with like missing one of my
yeah.
characters.
The game's hard enough as it is. We don't need to make it harder for ourselves. So to see all that and like I love the Watch Dogs 2. Like Marcus was a great character. It seems like they're keeping some of that style with it, with like the kind of like lighthearted. Like Watch Dogs 1 was too serious. This one, I don't know. Like maybe my thoughts will change when we get closer to the release, but initially, right now, looking at it, I'm just like, I'm completely turned off by that game. Just based off of the permadeath system, and then like the recruiting aspect. Like I know that was big in Zombie U, they've done it before, and then like the recruiting has been a huge thing they've done in the Assassin's Creed games, and that's always been my least favorite part of Assassin's Creed games is the recruiting aspect of it. Like I've always done it when I had to, and that was about it. I never would do it if I didn't have to. The Mythic Quest Ravens game, movie, TV show, whatever you want to call it. It looks like it could be funny just because it's the Always Sunny guys, but like I said, it's on an Apple subscription service, which I didn't know was a thing until today. I don't foresee myself going out of my way to check that out. Even if I had access to it, I don't know if it'd be something I'd be running to go see. But it could be funny. I'm curious what people say about it when it comes out. But the rest of the press conference, it was mostly just like updates. It was kind of like the Bethesda one, where like all these games are out already or coming out soon, and it's just like here's some content updates for you guys, like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which we've already shown multiple times. Rainbow Six Siege has been shown many times. Brawlhalla has been shown multiple times. It's been out for multiple years now. For Honor has been out for a couple of years. Division 2, like I understand that game's only a couple months old. You want to talk about it? They always talk about a new movie from them that's coming out. Ubisoft does every year. But outside, like honestly, nothing got me excited. Gods and Monsters, like in theory, much like Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, like that could be really cool. Like it basically just looked like a copy off of like fucking Breath of the Wild, like even like the art style and that like it remind me of like the very beginning, like when you walk out of the tunnel or the cave in Breath of the Wild for the first time, and you look and you're on top of that rock, and you could see the whole world. That's immediately what I thought of. Like it looks like a copy off of Breath of the Wild, which that part makes me excited. That's it. Like that, and maybe this game's really cool. Like I think there's some gameplay out there. Like I said, like, I'm gonna check it out. That game comes out in February. So I'm more excited about that game than anything else, and we didn't see anything from it. Uh, I just thought this whole trailer or this whole press conference in general was just I was very bored. It was the shortest one, and it felt like in a lot of ways the longest one. Uh, it didn't have it didn't have the Doom to save it. It didn't have anything big like that. Like if we got more gods and monsters, maybe my opinion would change a little bit. Maybe it'd add a point to it. But I think this is the downside of having like this games as a service, like where games are around for, they don't just come out and then they're out and that's it. Like these games, or they don't have a little bit of DLC and for a few months and it's over. Like these games,
right?
Like I said, Rainbow Six Siege has been around since like 2015.
Oh yeah, I mean, I mean, here's just the thing about it though. It's like the game is incredibly old as it is and stuff, and you're putting out new content to it still. The whole game's alive stuff works to a certain extent, but at the same point, it just kind of just gets boring after a while. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to keep on playing the same game. I want something else.
Yeah. And I get why you have to do it. Like I said, like with some of the stuff that Bethesda was showing off, like you have to show off, like this is your time to show these games off where the most eyeballs are on it. Like you want to show off like your Elder Scrolls Online gameplay update, Blade, blah, blah, blah. And same thing with with Ubisoft, with all their games and service games they have going on right now, like For Honor and stuff like that. I get why you have to do it, but it just feels like sometimes they spend too much time on it, and like it just feels like here's all these content updates for these games that are already out, and then here's some new shit in between. Like, it feels like it's totally flipped on it in the last couple of years, and maybe that's what E3 is going to be from now on. It's just like it's weird to complain about games like that people like a lot, that have a big fan base, constant get updates. Like if we were more into those games, we'd love it. You know, if I was more in Division 2 and saw that, I'd be more interested in it. If I was more into if I was someone that plays Rainbow Six Siege all the time, to see that content, that'd be cool. Or like Elder Scrolls Online, blah blah blah. Like that'd be stuff I'd be more interested in. But yeah, I just felt like Roller Champions could be fun, but like there's gameplay out there if you want to check it out. That looks like it kind of looks like it's their own Rocket League they're trying to do. Like Ubisoft likes to have their hands in everything, and that looks like this is their Rocket League, which I don't know, maybe it could be the new Rocket League. Like it feels like
it definitely has some potential. You know, I mean, the concept seems kind of cool. Haven't seen any gameplay footage of it yet, though. But yet, I kind of want to see a little bit of if it could actually go forth and be that kind of alternative.
Yeah, but I just felt nothing really stood out to me. Nothing stuck for me. As a gamer, like I said, Gods and Monsters is the one thing that I'm interested in based off of that CG trailer, and that's just because it looks like Breath of the Wild. So, I like I said, like if Doom Eternal is the one game changer, the X factor so far in all these press conferences to me, in Keanu Reeves, sadly. So I gave Bethesda a 6, and I at least enjoyed 20 minutes of the Bethesda press conference. That was an hour and 20 minutes. This thing was an hour and about 10 minutes, or give or take. And I enjoyed a minute and a half of this. So I would say I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 10.
Okay, that's fair.
So just like I said, I went over everything already that I felt, but it's just Breakpoint could be cool. I don't really understand what the game is yet. Still, like you said, you platinum Wildlands. You got hooked on Wildlands for a while, so maybe it could be the new Wildlands. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's going to cover everything for Ubisoft, guys. Thank you so much for listening to us on night one of our recordings. We'll be back tomorrow and Wednesday with the rest of our talks with Square Enix, Nintendo, and then later in the week with our best and worst of E3 coverage. So once again, thank you guys for listening. I was your host, Tyler.
And I have been Colonel Gables. So until next time, everyone, I hope you look forward to our Nintendo coverage and have yourself a good night.
Yep. Bye, guys.
See ya.